We have Ted Weisberg, president of Seaport Securities, and he's a familiar face on a New York Stock Exchange floor. Teddy, nice to see you. Thank you for sharing your time on a Sunday evening there. So just a short covering on Friday. How much downside do you think we might see from here?
Well, I think it's. I would agree that certainly you sort of had that knee-jerk, maybe a short covering rally on Friday, but we did test the lows of May 6th. You know, and we had that huge sell-off, that 1,000-point sell-off, and we retested those on Thursday. We kind of went into Friday morning hoping for a sell-off on the opening. We got it, and we've put a little money to work. I mean, we don't have a lot of conviction here, but you know, perhaps they're going to do a little better, at least in the short term.
Okay, and what makes you think that, Teddy? I mean, some people are thinking implosion here and possible depression era selling again.
Well, I mean, I think, listen, the negative sentiment is pervasive at the moment. You know, in a matter of 3 or 4 weeks, we kind of flipped from a positive scenario to a negative scenario. There are a lot of reasons for it, of course, not the least of which are the problems with Europe and the euro in particular. But it just it's as simple as that they just looked a little overdone on the sell side, oversold. I think we need to see a couple of days, early Monday, Tuesday, if we can hold, at least stay in positive territory. Perhaps you know, perhaps we can see another leg up. I don't think we're out of the woods yet on the downside, but you know, the markets are so volatile. I mean that you know, they can easily flip and go the other way for little or no reason.
Yeah, Bob Dahl of BlackRock says you got to strap in right now for the volatile ride on the markets, Teddy. Let me just ask you, what exactly are you watching out for? How do you know if we're in for more declines, say, in the next few weeks, or could we see an actual rally here?
Well, I mean, listen, we're in for more declines if the news out of Europe continues to be difficult. You know, we had in the U.S. we had a weak new jobless claims number, much weaker than expected. We had the release of the Fed minutes meeting on Wednesday or Thursday, which said that the housing recovery looks like it's stalled. I mean, all of a sudden we're on the other side of the mountain where the U.S. was kind of bumping along and the economy was basically doing pretty good, and we certainly had terrific first quarter earnings, but all of a sudden you get some negative news, and then you have the problems with the euro, and the scenario gets to the negative side. I'm not sure that it's all warranted. Clearly, Europe is a problem. But if we start to see something positive coming out of the eurozone, if you will, the U.S. economy, unless we're going to slide back into this so-called double-dip recession, which people have been talking about for 6 months now, and I don't know that that's the case, but I'm not an economist or an analyst. I'm just a stock trader, and so we're at the bottom of the food chain when it comes to stuff like that. But I just think in the very short term, it looks to me like they were pretty oversold. We had a nice bounce on Friday. It'll be interesting to see if it follows through. I mean, your guess is almost as good as mine. We're sort of betting that perhaps it will, but if it doesn't, we have our eyes on the exits, and we're not going to be afraid to walk through them.
Oh, Teddy, you're not at the bottom of the food chain for me. Thank you for your time. Nice talking to you. Teddy Weisberg of Seaport Securities.